in a game that's had everything. Fornaroli saved it again! Liam Reddy is the absolute hero for Perth's glory.
The initial contact was Danny Milosevic got in contact with me, just seeing what my contract status was and whether I'd be interested in a move to Perth, and then that initial discussion went well, and then I spoke to Kenny Lowe about coming over, and really liked what he had to say about the club and the city and the group of players that he had there at the time, and yeah, that's pretty much what sold me on it. And then it was trying to sell the wife and kids on the move over to Perth, but yeah, that was a little bit more difficult, but yeah, it's, as I've said before, it's the best move that we made. We've really settled in Perth, and you know, we'll live here post-football. The kids are settled, the wife loves living over here, so yeah, very good move. Yeah, initially it was, but you know, that's a little bit life of a footballer. You don't know what's next, and you know, I've been fortunate. I've had support off my wife Christy, and the kids have always been supportive of me playing football, and you know, they know what comes with that, and moving is part of that. Yeah, so it was a big move, but yeah, I think looking back, it was definitely the right one. Well, yeah, I always enjoyed coming to Perth. Funny enough, I've actually played against Perth in the NSL, so it was always a club that, well, in the NSL era, they always, you know, obviously professional club. You know, they always had, you know, 4 or 5, let's say, imports from the East Coast that would come and play for Perth. And it was always a thing where I thought, gee, it'd be really good to play for Perth. They had Jason Pekovic at the time, who was an international, so it was something that I knew wasn't possible, but it was always in the back of my mind that it'd be a great place to play. You know, it's always good playing in front of the shed. You know, they obviously give the opposition goalkeeper a lot of grief, but I always enjoyed that, and Julie just love it just as much now that obviously they've got my support. Was that the same game Mark Warren kicked the ball in the back of me maybe and it went in, or no? Did it? Or was that another one? Because Mark Warren's done a couple of things while I played that first year. But yeah, look, I remember, yeah, it was at home against Central Coast Mariners. Yeah, it was quite end-to-end, which we played back in those days. I think we scored near enough the most, but we also conceded nearly the same amount, so it was very end-to-end those days were. Oh, there's a couple. Big Dino's always, he's always interesting. Yeah, look, Andy Keogh, Shane Lowry, Alex Grant. You know, still obviously keep in touch with those boys. They've always been good fun. Mitchy Nichols is a good mate of mine. He was, he's had 2 spells here, but yeah, there's been a good array of boys that, you know, I've shared a dressing room with and that get a bit of enjoyment. Now, probably later on now, Ryan Williams is a bit of a pest, but he's always good entertainment. This year, there'd probably be a couple for boys not turning up to events. So they're a little bit higher fines, but yeah, generally there's probably 3 or 4 guys. Pacific's not the best with some stuff. Luka Ivanovic just recently has had a bad little run. A couple of the younger boys, 40, but he's starting to get his act into gear. Just with some little things that he doesn't do in terms of filling out RPEs and wellness in the morning, but generally they're all good. I'm really a big believer on team fines because that helps the kiddie out, and yeah, and we have a bit of fun there. We got the spinning wheel, so it keeps the boys entertained the day before a game. One of the fines is if you spin the wheel and you have to wear a suit for 2 days, to and from training, or you pay $50. And Ryan Williams actually got that and went down to Vinnie's and bought a suit that probably belonged in the early 90s, and he let 40 borrow it, and yeah, it was yeah, a bit of fun, and the boys enjoy it, and yeah, puts a smile on everyone's face. Obviously, the Newcastle one because it was the night we got the premiership plate.
Adams looks at his watch, and that'll do it. After a 15-year wait,
You know, to win 1-0 at home, to do it at home also. You know, that was a special night, and you know, it was a really good celebration after it. You know, we got to share that with the fans and the members and our families. And then, you know, obviously on a personal one, yeah, probably the Adelaide one because of the, you know, obviously the penalty shootout and you know, the part that I played in it.
if he can convert. But he can't! Reddy! Score here. Boom, he can!
You know, there's been a couple of other games that have, you know, have been highlights, I suppose, in terms of things, but you know, those two definitely stick out. Yeah, probably not until, you know, the next night, definitely. I mean, we're all in a good mood, and then there was a lot of banter going on. I remember that night with the group chat, just about obviously the boys that had missed penalties or things that had gone on in that game, and you know, we could look at the lighter side of it because we did get through. But yeah, it took a good 24 hours to get over that, and then obviously we knew we had an important game the week after. No, Andy's a good mate. I think, look, yeah, if I do get there, it'll be, you know, a great accomplishment. But, you know, I think, yeah, look, it's probably something I'd look back at when I retire. That, you know, obviously, you know, to play this many games for a club and a club like Perth is special. You know, I think when you know, obviously I first came here on a 1-year deal initially, and you know, you don't really look at records like that, but you know, obviously getting closer to it, you might start to reflect a little bit. But yeah, it'd be, if it does happen, it'd be good to take it off him because he's a good mate of mine, and you know, he's had a wonderful career at the club as well. Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, some probably things. Probably helps having teenage kids that keep me honest. Like the stat that they told me, I think might have been 3 weeks ago, that I just conceded my 500th A-League goal. You know, so yeah, the kids are good like that also. But yeah, they give me some positive stats as well. But no, it's I have a good little bit of banter with especially the older two. But yeah, I mean, they like to dig up some stats on me.
He's escaped, but will Perth escape more punishment? It's Fornaroli against Liam Reddy, and Reddy stands strong.
No, not really. I might have previously, but it's not. I don't think it's something depending on the player. I mean, if it was Scott Jamieson, for instance, yeah, I'd definitely say something to Jamo. But I'm sure he'd chirp something back, so it'd be good. But no, not really. I mean, I've got my routine sort of thing to go through. You know, obviously, I'm trying to look at them and see if they've got any tells or anything like that. But you know, probably got to hand a lot of credit to Danny Milosevic also, because he does a lot of research on the kickers, and you know, we go through their previous penalties and we try to look at a lot of things. And not to say that, you know, that doesn't always work, and you know, a player can change their mind and go a different side, and you might just have a feeling on the day, and that's happened also, where, you know, the shooter's always gone to my left, but I just had a feeling that he might go the other way, and it's worked out. Sometimes it hasn't worked out, but you know, it's probably a good thing that the pressure's not on me to make the save. Obviously, if I do go the right way, I'm disappointed when I don't make the save because I feel that I should, but it's all on the kicker. Yeah, you know, the players are looking forward to playing at Macedonia Park for that exact reason. I think, you know, if we can get 5,500, 6,000 people in there, it'll be an unbelievable atmosphere, and as you said, it'll be nice and tight. Players will be close to the fans and the members will be close to the action, and we'll be able to hear everything they say. And you know, we really hope that we can make it a fortress and really hostile for away teams. Yeah, and the boys are actually, you know, I went past it the other day, and the field's starting to take shape and look good. So the boys are really excited for the home games coming up in December.